Hello and welcome to Talk Indonesia, where the world meets for coffee. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's TI Hot List. Overseas address. How do Indonesians living abroad keep connected? MD Madness. How have mobile devices changed our lives? And keeping green. What we can do, what we each can do to help preserve the world's beauty. Sarah's out today. Sitting in for her is Linda Ibrahim, business consultant, writer, and good daughter. And our guest host this week, all the way from San Francisco, Sonita Lonto, green technology expert, women's advocate, and native of Palembang. Welcome. Hot topic number 1, overseas address. The government estimates that there are an unofficial 20 million people with ties to Indonesia living in 26 countries around the world. The so-called diaspora are made up of former residents, offspring, and those with previous Indonesian ties. The second Congress of Indonesian Diaspora was held this past week in Jakarta, where several thousand came home to discuss common issues that included voting and immigration. Now, Sunita, you came back for the event. Your backstory, when did you leave Indonesia and why?
Sure, yeah. Hi, everyone. Dalton and Linda. I left Indonesia in the early 90s to go to school, to go to college, basically, University of Berkeley. And my original plan was actually never to stay in the U.S. for forever. The plan was to go to school and probably, work for a few years and then go to graduate school and work for a few years again and come back. But sometimes, as such, you have a plan, and then, of course, your plan changes.
Better plans come along.
Yes, better plans, or other things happen, right?
Okay, so you've been there ever since, and you like being there, but you plan to come home someday.
Not quite sure yet. I think it depends on many things.
Wow.
But my parents are here, so I come here every year. But in terms of moving back to live here permanently, I think it will depend on a lot of factors.
Yeah, your families, your job, and everything.
Yep,
Real quickly,
exactly.
was there an overriding theme or issue that emerged at the Diaspora Congress this past week?
You know what? There are several issues, because the Congress actually has many task forces, and unfortunately I don't remember all of them.
But is there a big one? This is the main thing. Come on.
Yeah, this is the main thing. But there are several task forces that I think are on top of mind, on everyone's mind. The first one is immigration, dual citizenship and things like that.
What, do overseas people want dual citizenship?
I think a lot of them do, yes. A lot of them would like dual citizenship or some kind of special visas.
Why?
Just for
ease in coming home.
Yeah, ease of coming home, to go back and forth, to increase investments, just to feel like you're a part of this community. And actually, if you look at other diaspora, like the Chinese or the Indians, they have some kinds of special visas for their diaspora.
Because if you give up your Indonesian citizenship, then you have to apply for a visa or visa on arrival.
Yes.
It costs money every time you come home.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And I think not just that. If a lot of Indonesian overseas married to foreigners as well, then you have children of this mixed marriages. A lot of them would like to keep their ties with Indonesia, with their fatherland or motherland. And it's really, I personally think it's very silly if you have 50% of your blood from Indonesia, but you need to choose whether or not you want to be an Indonesian, you want to be a foreigner, and then it requires.
But that's not uncommon. Many countries only allow you to hold one passport if you're a citizen of the country.
But then the thing is, the problem with Indonesian citizenship is that it's only based on the jus sanguinis.
Yeah,
the blood from the father's side.
Yep.
Unlike the U.S., for example, you can have ius soli. You can have foreign parents born there based on the land that you were born in.
Okay, so
you're
maybe
an
it needs
American.
updating, and that's what the task force are looking into, right?
There are many task forces, but this is one of the task forces. Yep.
Okay, Linda, you lived abroad.
I did.
What was a major issue for you in your time away?
One of the things is that to establish that I am an Indonesian and I'm capable, I know what I do, and what I do is not cleaning houses.
What do you mean? You think the image of Indonesians abroad is domestic workers, basically?
Yes, I have been I work overseas, and I was literally the first Indonesian ever worked there, to the point that the HR
Where is this?
In the U.S.
Okay.
Let's not name the companies. It's one of it's the Fortune 500, one of America's largest and oldest
Less than
institutions.
progressive, you're saying?
No, it was a progress for them.
Okay.
And then they were so happy to get me, and they said, wow, we never had Indonesian before. Congratulations. And I was like, and you've been around for 97 years, you've never had an Indonesian working. Not even an Indonesian descendant. I was exotic in that company. And I really had to work to establish that I know what I was doing. I became an expat actually with them. They sent me over to their regional office in the Philippines. And it was funny because we were used to have Filipino expats in this country. And it was a reverse situation when I was the expat in the Philippines. And even they were surprised. Oh, you're Indonesian.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought you're one of us.
So the image,
The
proud.
image.
You know, besides feelings of nostalgia and homesickness, Indonesians send home a lot of money. That issue was brought up during this Congress. Remittances home total more than $7 billion, which is in the top 20 of all the world's countries. So the contributions, hard cash is a big thing from diaspora.
Cash is king, especially these days.
To support families and also to invest, right?
Yep.
It's not just sending money home.
And actually, Dalton, can I add to that?
Okay.
All right, good. So even though capital is important, but I think human capital is even more important. So there's a lot of Indonesians around the world with like expertise, right, in technology, in academia, in policy, and whatnot. And the most important thing is that they have this mindset, like they have an international mindset where they can come home and maybe not live here permanently, but at least
share the knowledge,
contribute in a really solid way.
In a solid way. Not just capital, but also human capital.
The next diaspora is 2 years from now.
Yes.
And site undetermined, maybe back here.
Maybe back here, but undetermined.
Okay. Talk Indo will continue shortly. How many mobile devices do you have and actually need